Good morning, this is John Michael Goulet, and I'm going to be talking about the separation from the Catholic Church today, and I'm going to go ahead and get started. So, in the beginning, the separation between God, Jesus Christ, and the Holy Spirit, and Lucifer, Satan, Allah, and we're going to be talking about this book here. Also, Martin Luther, the German monk, and why he separated from the Catholic Church. And he wrote this catechism book, and he wrote a number of other books that he wrote. And he was pretty upset with the Catholic Church, but we don't understand why he was upset with the Catholic Church. So that's what we're going to find out today. The separation between God, Jesus Christ, the Holy Spirit, starts off with Lucifer, Satan. Now his name is Allah, and I put in Martin Luther because he separated from the church and was at the Edict of Worms, was declared a heretic and an outlaw. The one who saved him was Frederick the Wise. He was also a Catholic, and Martin Luther was a Catholic monk, and then he graduated to a Catholic priest, and then he had a problem with the indulgences and the relics, the indulgences of forgiveness of sins, and the relics that they had in Rome, like the Apostle Paul, St. Peter. They have the relics there in Rome, and I think he was upset about that, so he writes 95 Theses and nails it on the Catholic Church in Wittenberg. He lived there in Wittenberg, and that's where he nailed 95 Theses on the Catholic Church. So the first separation here is in Revelation chapter 12, verse 7 through 10. It says, war broke out in heaven. War broke out in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and his angels fought back, but he was not strong enough, and they lost their place in heaven. The great dragon was hurled down, that ancient serpent called the devil, or Satan, who leads the whole world astray. He was hurled down to the earth, and his angels with him. Therefore rejoice, you heavens, and you who dwell in them. But woe to the earth and the sea, because the devil has gone down to you, meaning us. He is filled with fury because he knows that his time is short. Why did Lucifer have a falling out with God? Lucifer rebelled against God primarily out of pride, desiring to exalt himself and take God's place, as described in the biblical passages like Isaiah 14, verse 12 and 14, where he sought to ascend above God and be like the Most High. He convinced other angels to join him by portraying God's rule as oppressive and by refusing to bow to humanity, like Adam and Eve, leading to a war in heaven, his expulsion, and his renaming to Satan, meaning the adversary. Also, Martin Luther was officially excommunicated from the Catholic Church by Pope Leo X on January the 3rd, 1521. Following his refusal to recant of his writings of indulgences and church practices, which led to heresy and declaring Luther to an outlaw, an adversary Lucifer to Satan to Martin Luther. Other separations will come from Jesus Christ himself. In Matthew chapter 25, verse 31 to 46, future event in Matthew chapter 13, verse 47 to 50. First, Matthew chapter 25, verse 31 to 46. When the Son of Man comes in his glory, and all the angels with him, he will sit on the glorious throne. All the nations will be gathered before him, and he will separate the people one from another, as a shepherd separates the sheep from the goats. He will put the sheep on his right and the goats on his left. The sheep will be blessed, and the goats will go to eternal fire, prepared for the devil and his angels. That was Matthew 25, verse 31 to 46. Matthew 13, 47 to 50. Jesus will cast a net into the sea, gathering all kinds of fish. Jesus will sort the good fish into the containers and throw the bad ones away. When angels will separate the wicked from the righteous and cast the wicked into the fiery furnace, resulting in weeping and gnashing of teeth. Separation in John 5, chapter 5, verse 28 to 29, is a New Testament passage where Jesus speaks of a future resurrection, stating that all in their graves will hear his voice and come out. Those who have done good to the resurrection of life, and those who have done evil to the resurrection of condemnation and judgment, signifying a final judgment where actions determine eternal destiny. Revelation chapter 22, verse 10-12. An angel instructs John not to seal the prophecies because the time for their fulfillment is near, followed by Jesus Christ declaring his imminent return to reward each person according to their deeds, emphasizing a final decisive separation between the righteousness and the wicked. So I'm going to go ahead and end this one presentation. I'm going to do about 5 of them, one right after another one, because there's so much work here. So I'm going to go ahead and end this one here, and I'll be right back.